As soon as Mary gets back, we'll ask her to call the roll. Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Okay, Mary, can you please call the roll?
Okay. Mr. Hayes.
Here.
Mr. Hunt.
Here.
Mr. Wilkie.
Here.
Mrs. Harrington.
Here.
And Mr. Hawes.
Here.
Wonderful. All right. First order of business is please stand and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you could just have a moment of just silent reflection. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Okay. First order of business is the adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I will move to adopt the agenda of September 9th as presented.
Do I have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
Mr. Hunt.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie.
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington.
Yes.
And Mr. Hawes.
Yes.
Wonderful. Moving on to the minutes from prior meetings. Does any board member have any questions or comments or related to the previous minutes? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
Mr. Hunt.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie.
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington.
Yes.
And Mr. Hawes.
Yes.
Okay. Moving into recognitions. Mr. Lavender.
Yes, President Wilkie and governing board members, before I call up Mrs. Miller, our CTE director, to introduce the students of the month for CTE, I do want to read a statement for those watching at home. You will notice the cameras have been turned off tonight. I directed them to be turned off because the school district cannot use resources in an attempt to influence elections. I felt this was appropriate due to the differences of opinion about whether the message on the hat some board members are wearing tonight make a political statement. So for those at home, you can listen to the audio tonight, but there will be no cameras.
Okay.
Mrs. Miller?
Mr. Wilkie, board members, Mr. Lavender, thank you for the opportunity to recognize some of our career and technical education students. As you know, this is one of the absolute favorite things that I get to do, so I'm really happy to get started on this tradition once again this evening. We have students from both high schools tonight. The first one I'm going to call up is Alexander Binder. So Alex, come on up. Alex is September's Career and Technical Education Student of the Month. He's been nominated by CTE construction teacher Jeff St. Clair from Vista Grande. He is an outstanding student. He is this year's president of the Skills USA Construction Club. He's committed to improving his skills and leadership ability, and I've seen him out working at the school, so I know he's a hard worker. He takes initiative and leads by example. He's always ready and willing to help. Alexander is self-directed, able to work without supervision. He's determined to solve problems and stays on task until he has a workable solution. He volunteers to help other students who are struggling and offers positive engagement. He participates in the total school program through athletics, clubs, and class participation. He does the shot put on the track team and is a member of the wrestling team. He's involved with thespians, anime, and the D&D club. This year, Alexander is player number 3 in this year's play. He will be competing for his second year in the Arizona Masonry Skills Challenge and Region 3 Skills USA competition. So I want to say congratulations to Alex. Here is your plaque. And I also want to congratulate his parents. They're Mr. Thomas Binder and Ms. Teresa Otison, both of Casa Grande, and I believe neither were able to attend tonight, correct? Okay, so let's get your congratulations from the board members at this point. Mr. St. Clair, you want to come up?
Congratulations.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Chocolate, construction.
I know.
Anime,
Yeah.
drama. Jeez, does it all.
And so our second student is Ayana Renteria. And she's from Casa Grande Union High School, and she is an early childhood education teacher. Her parents were able to join us this evening, and they are Mr. and Mrs. Sean and Jasmine Rutledge and Mr. Rito Renteria, all of Casa Grande. All right. Now let's get to the fun stuff, all the things I get to say about you. She is a third-year early childhood education student, and we're fortunate that she has chosen to work in the Cougar Cubs preschool this year as an intern. She's an exceptional role model and a delight to work with. While she's in the preschool center, she has created a supportive environment for the young children, as well as the high school students that she mentors. Her interactions are positive and kind. She is certified in CPR, first aid, and has received her food handler certificate while in the ECE program. These are all certifications needed to participate. She is also a member of the FCCLA, the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America student organization. She has a quiet demeanor. However, she works exceptionally well with others, communicates clearly, and makes sure the needs of the children and students are performed promptly and efficiently. Anaya is and will continue to be an asset to any organization that she chooses to be a part of. And here is your award. Congratulations. And everybody want to come up? She's got a fan club here. So.
That's cute. I know.
They are here. Oh,
Let's
wait a
get- you
minute.
wanna get-
Teachers.
She's got a huge fan club. She's got preschool folks, high school folks. Come on in. You guys want in too?
Yes.
Okay.
Can
you get up?
Here we go, guys. 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
And I'll send it to you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Crystal Danzy, who will recognize our PACE Student of the Month. Mrs. Danzy.
Good evening, Board President, board members, family, friends. PACE's Student of the Month is Miss Olivia Castro. Olivia has grown so much over these past year and couple of months since she's been with us. When she was first with us, I remember her being extremely shy, not wanting to cause attention, didn't want a scene to be made, just did not want to stand out at all. But she has made such a shift. She is a campus leader. She speaks, she shares her experiences, she brings others in. She's just a full out cheerleader and very courageous. I think last year she did something I could never do. She did the talent show at Vista, and bless you for that. But I want to share some thoughts from some of the advisors. Olivia Castro, a promising young leader, has made remarkable progress during her initial years in high school. She actively participates in various servant student leadership organizations like Casa Grande Alliance and RAISE. Olivia leads the morning lift, where she unites the student body each morning, leading the Pledge of Allegiance, observing a moment of silence, sharing all announcements, and motivating others with uplifting messages. With bravery and talent, Olivia is destined for a bright future, poised to grow and become a beacon of positivity, inspiring future generations. Olivia is an outstanding student whose vibrant personality and dedication sets a high standard in our classroom. Always on task and meticulous in her work, she not only excels academically, but also encourages her peers to stay focused and engaged. Olivia embodies the positive culture we strive for at Pace High School and is a true example of exemplary behavior and commitment. Congratulations, Olivia. She's here with her proud father, Mr. David Castro.
So from the Rotary Club tonight, we have Matt Herman, also Casa Grande City Council member, who is here. And our first Rotary Student of the Month will be Casa Grande Union. So I'm going to ask Dr. Lineberry to please join Mr. Herman in the front.
Yes, sir. Of course, as soon as you called me up, my computer went out. Sorry.
He has the world's longest password too.
Yeah,
I was like, he's like,
yeah. I'm making it up as I go here. There we go. All right, we're ready now. Got it. So, good evening, Mr. President, Governing Board, and Superintendent Lavender, community. I'm Chris Lineberry. I'm the principal at Union, and tonight I have the honor of introducing Emma Anala. If you would, Emma, come on up. So, as you can see, one of Emma's most outstanding characteristics is her smile. She's constantly wearing that around school. Superintendent Lavender, I hate to tell you this, but she has plans to go to the University of Arizona to get her undergraduate degree. And she wants to go to dental school after that and develop a specialty in orthodontics. She's currently a cheerleader. She's been on cheerleading, but this is her 4th year. She was a freshman class vice president, all honors classes in freshman year, all honors FFA secretary, green hand officer, CTE student of the month her 10th grade year, 11th grade USA All-American cheerleader, got to go to London for that. And ALA All-Girls State, Casa Grande Union High School varsity and competitive team. And this year she's a cheer captain. She's doing an internship at Walton Orthodontics. She's the vice president of the National Honor Society. This is her 4th year on the Casa Grande Youth Commission and varsity and competition cheer team. And she is also a senior class senator and member of our Renaissance Club. So in her free time, you know, her teachers had a lot of good things to say about you, Emma. And Mr. Cheek says she's a student who's driven to be the very best she can be. She strives to be not only her best, but to help others become their best. Her smile is all the time uplifting and positive. She's a great role model for her peers, both young and age alike. She has drive. It's displayed through her character, her attitude, her work, and an involvement in school activities. She is Miss Coach Katie Kramer says that Emma has earned a reputation amongst her coaches and teammates of having a positive and encouraging attitude. She's dedicated, hardworking, responds with courage to challenges. She's been named one of the varsity team captains, and because she has an outstanding commitment to, because of her outstanding commitment, dedication, and leadership. She's extremely smart, demonstrates commitment to her academics, has an impressive GPA, and she defines what it means to be a student athlete. We're grateful to have Emma on our team and are so proud of her accomplishments. Her bright, constant smile and kind heart inspire everyone. I've gotten to know Emma over the past 2 years, and she truly is a student of great moral character, hard work, and integrity. And I'm very proud of you, Emma. Congratulations on being the Rotarian Student of the Month.
Emma's also my goddaughter.
Emma's also Tina Ogle's goddaughter. And she's joined by her parents up here as well, who I forgot to introduce, so I apologize.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Good job.
Next is our Vista Grande Rotary Student of the Month with Mr. Danzy. So Mr. Danzy, please come forward.
Good evening, Governing Board President Wilkie, Board Member, Superintendent Lavender. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Sergio Aguilar. Before I read what was written about Sergio, I will tell you that sometimes you often hear Sergio in crowds before you see him, because he is a huge cheerleader for everything that goes on at Vista Grande High School. So his voice matches the smile that you see up here. Sergio Aguilar, the son of Mario and Johanna Aguilar, is being honored as Vista Grande September Rotary Student of the Month for his outstanding leadership, community service, and academic excellence. With a passion for making a difference, Sergio has devoted the last 4 years to Key Club, where he served as vice president, lieutenant governor, and K-Comp coordinator. What's that?
Support community service around Arizona and Mexico.
Oh, man.
El Paso.
His commitment to service is evident in his impressive 100 to 150 volunteer hours, which have made him a significant impact in his community. He was recognized for his efforts with Zero Hunger Award by Kroger. In addition to his work with Key Club, Sergio has held leadership roles in Link Crew for 2 years and is an active member of National Honor Society, Spartan Shout, and Casa Grande Youth Alliance. He also spent a year volunteering at Banner Hospital, showcasing his dedication helping others. This past summer, Sergio was selected to participate in Boys State, where he developed his leadership skills further at the Key Club International Convention. He hosted workshops on engaging audiences and event development, sharing his knowledge with peers. Sergio's talents extend beyond leadership and community service. He was awarded Best Editor of the Year for his exceptional skills in writing articles and conducting interviews. As a member of the Mountain Bike Youth Club, Sergio enjoys staying active through outdoors adventures. In his free time, he loves singing, dancing, and sewing. I used to sew too, if you're wondering, and hiking. Sergio plans to continue his education after graduation, studying political science and international relations. He aspires to a career in politics or public service where he can continue positively impact his community. With his drive, leadership, and passion for helping others, Sergio Aguilar is truly deserving of this recognition as Rotary Student of the Month. Congratulations. Come on. Sergio.
Thank you, sir. So this month we have 2 employees of the month. And the first one I'm going to introduce is Mrs. Sharon Rodriguez. If Sharon could please join me up here. So Mrs. Beecham nominated Mrs. Rodriguez, and she said, "We would like to recognize Sharon Rodriguez for her outstanding commitment to our team and district. Her dedication, initiative, and willingness to step up when needed without being asked truly embodies what it means to be a team player. She's gone above and beyond to ensure the business department kept moving forward as we transitioned within the department. Her proactive approach has made an impact on both your colleagues and district. Thank you for all your hard work and support you provided the department." I also want to thank Sharon. She had left the district before I had arrived, and we knew the first couple of days or weeks that I was here that her departure really left a hole in the district. And we're so thrilled that she made the commitment to come back and join us. She does a fantastic job. One of the things I really admire about Mrs. Rodriguez is her commitment to always excellence, working hard, making sure she gets things done. I've never stumped her yet on a budget question. So that's going to be one of my goals, is to stump her one day. But she really knows what she's doing, and just so appreciative of all that she does. So Sharon, I have a certificate here for you, and thank you for everything. Mrs. Beecham, if you'd join us over here also. Miss Price, if you would also join us as well. This is Sharon's husband, Hector Rodriguez. He's the principal of Villa Oasis High School in the Pinal County School System. I don't look like a jolly giant. Our next employee of the month is John Craig, a social studies teacher at Casa Grande Union. John teaches our government classes, 12th grade government classes, which is an exciting class to teach. John, I got some quotes from some of your students here. Mr. Craig is a passionate person overall. He invites conversation, allowing all students to talk, which is a great way to learn. I talked about the importance of student talk earlier today. Mr. Craig has great time management. He doesn't take too long with direct instruction, leaving the students time to work on their homework during class. This makes it easier for students to stay on top of their grades. And then Aiden said he's a great teacher overall. Mr. Craig is dedicated not only to the class, but his students overall, and always wants what's best for us. It's really noticeable and appreciated for every one of his students. I also visited, Mr. Craig is on our PLC district team, helping us with the implementation of the PLCs. And so his insights have been really valuable to the team. But I attended the PLC team for the government and econ teachers here about a week and a half ago. And I was so impressed with John in that he was sharing, I'm not going to go into how many years of teaching, but I know it's north of 20, but he was sharing with the younger teachers in there his wisdom, the work that he has done over the year, preparing lessons, sharing with them web folders that he's created with ideas for teaching this, teaching that subject. And you could really see the passion that he has for teaching government. And these teachers that he's working with were teachers in Vista, teachers from Union. And I just was so impressed. And we talk about the importance of collaboration this year. And I thought about nominating him for the Talk to Me Goose Award. But what I saw that day was worthy of Employee of the Month as we are embarking on our PLCs. And Mr. Craig, I thank you for your dedication to your students. I thank you for your dedication to our staff here as well. And you're an exemplary educator. I appreciate it. And I have a certificate for you, and I'll give you the comments. And his wife is here, who happens to be the econ teacher for 12th grade. So our teachers get the daily double of the Craigs. And so if she could also please join me up here as well. Dr. Lineberry, if you would please join us. And Ms. Tejas, why don't you please join us as well?
We want to thank you all for coming to celebrate the students' achievements and for the teachers' recognitions. At this time, we'll take a pause and allow you all to get out. We encourage you to stay and listen, but we know you have things to do. So please enjoy the rest of your night. And thank you for coming. She's got that smile.
I know.
Smile.
It really is
Going into dental school. Yeah, that seems appropriate. That's awesome. All right. With that, Mr. Lineberry, I'll turn it back over. Yes. We will pick up with reports and presentations. Thank you.
Mrs. Fortson, do you mind closing that door, please? So, President Wilkie, members of the board, it's hard to believe that 23 years ago on Wednesday was 9/11 and the horrible tragedy that happened in New York City. There is a local committee led by Scott McEwen, with members of our city. Ms. Fortson is on the committee as well. And they are looking at Saturday, September 21st as a day of service. And so they're planning some different community service projects. We asked for them to host it on the 21st. So Vista Grande, who is traveling this weekend to California to play a football game, could participate. It just wouldn't be possible for them to participate on the 14th. But it'll be from 7 to 11 a.m. There'll be some speeches with some community members before they go out, and then students will be assigned to different community activities throughout the community, and then they'll come back. Dr. Tompkinson will be barbecuing hot dogs. I know Frito-Lay has donated some chips and some water, and so it'll just be a wonderful day. We have students from Union, students from Vista, and students from Pace that are participating in that. Our annual Greatest of the Grande is currently going on. And I'm proud to announce tonight that the Casa Grande High School District has been nominated as Best Employer here in the city, one of 3 finalists. Vista Grande has been nominated as the Best Public School. And so as one of the 3 finalists, Mr. Danzy has been nominated as the Best Principal. One of the 3 finalists, he won the award 2 years ago, so we'd like to see him bring it home again. The Best Teacher, we have Mr. Carter, David Carter, and Alicia Martinez. Both of them teach at Union, have been nominated to 2 of the 3 finalists for Best Teacher. The Best Coach that has been nominated from the district is Christina Sacido Greg, who is our cross-country and track coach at Vista. Voting will go from September 16th, next Monday, through October 4th, and the winners will be announced in November at a special event at the Neon Sign Park. As many of you probably read or may have saw some of the media coverage of the unfortunate incident at our home opener for Casa Grande High School on August 30th, and the police instructed us to evacuate the fans from the stadium before the game would continue. It was a 30-minute delay. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock in the auditorium, we are having a community forum to share some of the ideas that we have to improve security at the game, talking to Chief Leos of the Casa Grande Police Department, working with our security director, Chuck Connors, and just getting feedback from others. So that will be tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at the auditorium if people would like to come and have input on that. Also, this Friday night is youth night at Casa Grande Union's football game. And so the kiddie cheer team and the middle school bands will be there this Friday night. So we're excited to have many of our future students in attendance on Friday night. As I mentioned earlier, Vista Grande will be traveling this weekend to play a football game in California, in Santa Maria, California. Am I correct on that, Mr. Danzy? Correct. And so we're excited for them. They've started the season 2-0, and we're looking for that. Also, Kenny Colt Swisher is a left-handed student whose mother told him he should play golf right-handed. Last week in a Union golf match, got a hole-in-one with 122 yards and with a pitching wedge. And so I've been playing golf for over 50 years and had one hole-in-one. And he's just starting golf and switched hands, and he already has a hole-in-one. So Kenny is going to be featured in the Casa Grande Dispatch for that feat, and we're real proud of him. And then John Roberts, our head football coach at Vista Grande, has already in his fourth season, is the all-time winningest coach in Vista Grande high school history with 22 wins. Real proud of that. He was born and raised here in Casa Grande, played quarterback for Casa Grande Union for his dad, or uncle, Randy Robbins. And we're real proud that he came home to coach our Spartans and the success that he's having. That's my report. And then going forward in your packet, I provided all of the board with an information on a cell phone policy review committee. We know across the country, our district is currently involved in the litigation, suing the social media companies for the influence on kids. We know cell phones are a disruption in the classroom and looking at that. So we are forming a committee of stakeholders to really take a look at our current policies, what we're doing, what's working, what's not working, and develop some recommendations for the board to consider if it requires board action or for the principals to implement. I've asked Natalie Clement. Natalie, if you would please raise your hand, and Monica Diaz to chair this committee. I should probably say I didn't ask. I told them that they're going to change the committee or be in charge of that. And so the committee will be starting their meetings after October. We're looking for a diverse group of parents, students, staff, and administration. The diversity ensures that all perspectives are considered because cell phones mean different things to different people, and to review the recommendation process. Again, the committee will meet after fall break, and we expect they'll conclude their work sometime this spring. So that is my report tonight for the Wilkie governing board members.
Well, I'm thrilled about this because we've had the conversation about the cell phones. It's out there. It's national. It really is a challenge. But I like this approach where we have all the stakeholders that are impacted by this. They'll be taking a proactive approach to trying to find out what the problem is, how bad of a problem is, and then come up with some ideas to help address the issue. So I really appreciate this, and thank you for volunteering to lead this effort. All right, moving into matters reserved for board action. Mr. Lavender.
Yes, sir. Our first is our ASB policy revisions that are in your packet. There are 9 revisions that have been recommended. And this is the second reading, am I correct? And adoption tonight.
Is there any questions or comments by the board? If not, I'll accept a motion.
I will move to approve.
To approve.
Mr. Hayes has moved to approve.
I'll second.
And we have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
And Mr. Hawk?
Yes.
Revised expenditure budget.
Yes, sir. We had to adopt a budget, I think it was in the early part of June, part of July, and not all of our encumbrances were in yet. And so now we're here tonight to make some adjustments based on some new figures. And so I'll introduce our business services manager. This is Veronica Price, who can cover those things with you.
Thank you. So September revision is not typical. We did this because when we adopted the budget, we used preliminary forms. So these are now on the official budget forms for fiscal year 25. I left you all a summary of changes sheet that just is broken into M&O and capital, which are the significant changes on this revision, and the reasons that are applicable for the changes. One is the base level changed from the preliminary to the final. That's the amount that we get per weighted ADM. Our teacher teacher experience index also changed. That's because we use fiscal 23s when we adopted. It has been revised for fiscal year 24. Audit service expenses were adjusted, about $3,000 less that we're receiving. Again, that's based on the expense that we put out in fiscal year 24. And number 4, the prior year carryover is the significant amount, about 1.3 million. And that's because, again, when we build the budget, we're still in May, so we still have 2 months going into the encumbrance period for another 2 months after that. For us to really finalize that true carryover, this number still could be adjusted. We may do some journal entries as needed before we complete our AFR for fiscal year 24. But when we adopted, we expected to be at about 6.5 million carryover, and you can see that increased to about 7.8. The second section is the same explanation and breakdown of the changes in capital. The capital budget is built on prior year numbers. So you can see our ADM for fiscal year 23 was what we used for adopted. It went down for our fiscal year 24. The growth factor, again, because when we did the adopted, we're looking at fiscal year 22 to 23, as opposed to now in this revision, 23 to 24. We had a slight growth before. We don't have as large this time. Same thing with the carryover. when we adopted our budget in over the summer, we expected to carry over about $900,000. And after the encumbrance period, we're just shy of 2 million. So the carryovers were the significant impacts on this revision. And then, of course, we were still earning interest for prior year in that capital. So there's a slight increase there as well. So down at the bottom, it shows the overall about $935,000 to capital. Some changes on the reports, page 1, the cover page. There is the updated amounts for the teacher salaries on the adopted budgets. There were no changes. We just carried over the numbers that were already on the budget forms from prior year. So those were adjusted to reflect the 3% raise to teacher salaries. Fiscal year 25's number is not finalized. That won't happen until our CEDAR report goes out in October. That's what we build that teacher salary, average teacher salary amount on. So it'll fluctuate. So it'll be revised and finalized at the end of the year in the May revision. But other than that, those are basically the key points that are changes for this September revision.
Thank you. Is there any comments or questions from the board members? Mr. Hayes? Okay.
No.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I appreciated this breakdown as I was a little bit confused. I was asking, what is all this? So thank you very much for making it simple for us.
You're welcome.
All right. Direct service agreement.
Oh, we have to,
We have to
Oh,
approve the budget.
I guess we do. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve the budget. As written.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
And Mr. Hawks?
Yes.
And now we'll move to the direct service agreement.
Real quick on the budget, if you remember back when we passed the initial pay package for the year, we talked about a retention bonus of either 1% or 0.5%, depending on the projected carryover. We did hit the trigger of the carryover, projected to be more than 5 million at the end of the year. And so we will be bringing back the recommendation at our October meeting for the 1% retention bonus for all staff.
Good.
So the direct service agreement, this is an agreement we do yearly with the Vail Unified School District. One of the critical things that we have in our district is student data and student information and data for our students. It's a complex system using Power School to get through. And down in Vail, there's an expert in that. And so it's a yearly contract that we use of $7,500. And if we do need to bring them here for the day, there's a $2,000 a day fee. We've never had to ask the gentleman to come here, but he is available for expertise when we need them. And we don't anticipate this year. But this is critical. Mrs. Beecham was just telling me the other day that through the help of this gentleman, we were able to find 2 students through the system, and we were able to get the funding for the 2 students that we may not have had. And that's kind of what you shared with me. And so that is the service agreement we have with the Vail School District. Again, to be able to have that kind of expertise here in the house would be very expensive to train or hire somebody with those kind of credentials.
And Mr. Lavender, how many people actually are trained on the system at this point with our turnover from previous years?
Mrs. Beecham, I know Mrs. Beecham, Mrs. Hanson, Mrs. Martinez, 3. I'm sure Mrs. Price has a lot of familiarity given her previous position in Picacho.
If I may.
Yeah.
So it's really when we get integrity error report, because we report directly to the state, Vail is able to come in and troubleshoot why those integrity errors are happening. Like as Mr. Lavender stated, the 2 students were on our integrity error. So we didn't get those fixed. Those 2 students, we would lose the ADM for that. So we're easily able to contact Vail. They quickly get on, they start troubleshooting, helping us walk through it. Not that we don't know, it's just Power School has works with a lot of different districts. And so they don't specialize with Arizona policy and how we report to Arizona, the state of Arizona. So that's where Vail comes in with their knowledge. And they work with multiple states that use Power School or multiple districts throughout the state. Sorry.
$7,500 for good IT help that saves us money. I like that. All right. With that, I will, any questions from the board? If not, I'll accept a motion.
I will move to approve the service agreement as presented.
Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
Mr. Hawk?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Lavender.
Yes, sir. Our next item we're asking for approval tonight is a memorandum of understanding with the Bluebell Behavior Health. This is for Casa Grande Union High School. I think you've heard me say before, currently right now in our country, there is a mental health crisis. A lot of our students are going through a variety of mental health issues. And our counselors are more trained to be academic counselors and career planning counselors than to go deep into some of the more severe depression, suicidal thoughts, and those type of things. So Dr. Lineberry is asking for Bluebell to be able to work with some of our students that are in need of more extensive support. And so what this memorandum does is allows them, for us and them to work and provide services for these students. Dr. Lineberry, is there anything you wanted to add, sir?
No, sir, I think you covered it.
So this is just for Union, not for Vista?
I believe so. Am I correct on that? When I read through the memorandum of understanding, it's just for Union. I think Vista has some partnerships with some other counseling agencies.
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? If not, I will accept a motion.
I will move to,
The agreement.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
Mr. Hawk?
Yes.
All right. Special Education System Agreement. Mr. Lavender.
Yes, Mr. Wilk, I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Daniel, but when we look at our special education students, they're classified into 4 categories. And level D, which is our most severe, a lot of times need one-on-one support. Sometimes it's not beneficial for a district because they're a small number to operate a program and utilize a business in town to service kids from multiple school districts. And Southwest Education Center in Casa Grande provides services for a couple of our level D students here in Casa Grande. And this is for them to provide services for transportation. Mrs. Daniel, is there anything else you'd like to cover?
No, what we've done, so SWEC services about 13 of our students, 10 to 13. I don't remember the number exactly, but we were having 3 different bus routes that were taking students to SWEC. So to support our students in getting there, as well as to support Durham, we were able to contract with SWEC itself to be able to provide transportation for those students. So they were getting there on time together and they're just getting off. So that was the purpose of that, was to kind of free up some of our bus drivers at Durham, but then also to provide support to those students who need that specialized transportation.
Excellent. Thank you. Any question from the board?
No.
With that, I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
And Mr. Hawk?
Yes.
2025 capital plan, Mr. Lavender.
Yes, President Wilkie. Mr. Bellick is here. Mr. Bellick has done a phenomenal job over the years, working with our state facilities board to get funding on critical facilities projects. This is an annual report that has to be done for the Arizona State Facilities Division. Mrs. Beecham, is there something else that you wanted to cover on that?
Yeah, this is just the annual report, and so we have to do it annually, and this helps for Ralph when he's going out for grants. They're just looking at our overall enrollment numbers, kind of projecting to see where we are and when we're going to be going to them to ask, hey, we might be needing to look at a new school year enrollments, getting past the capacity of what your school sites could hold. So they just have us all submit it annually.
I'm going to be interested for the ADM projections because with all the apartments and houses continuing to come to the community, I'd be surprised if the FY26 and going forward, that might change a little bit.
Yeah, so in 23, we went out, we used the applied economics, and they came out and they did an analysis, so that we've been fortunate to be using what they projected.
It's an annual thing, so it'll be adjusted. Any questions or comments from the board?
No.
With that, then I will accept a motion.
I will move to approve this recommendation as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
And Mr. Hawk?
Yes.
Okay. Evaluation procedures.
Mr. President Wilkie and governing board members, in the study session tonight, I did cover the proposal for evaluation procedures. In your packet is also a memorandum from me outlining those things. And we're recommending approval of this evaluation plan for this school year.
Is there any questions, comments by the board?
No,
With that,
I
I'll,
liked the presentation. It was very,
Yeah.
it explained it a lot. So thank you for doing that earlier.
yeah, it's a pathway forward, and I think it's well done, comprehensive, and I think that we're definitely moving in the right direction. So thank you for all that hard work for you and the rest of the team. With that, I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to approve the evaluation.
For acceptance.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion, and a second. Mary, please call for the roll, or vote.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
And Mr. Hawk?
Yes.
Okay, board meeting date changes, Mr. Lavender.
Yes, sir. So for the next two scheduled board meetings, which are scheduled on the second Monday of the month, the second Monday in October is October 14th, which is the first day of our fall break. And we want to afford our staff the opportunity to take advantage of fall break, especially if they're going to be traveling. And so we're recommending October 7th as the board meeting for the month of October. And then for November, the second Monday is November 11th, which is Veterans Day. And so it's a national holiday. So we're recommending November 12th. I know at one time we talked about November 18th, but in talking to staff, that's too much time between October 7th and November 18th to do some of our district business. So that's the recommendation for November 12th.
Okay.
And so we're recommending those are the dates for our upcoming board meetings.
Any questions, concerns by the board?
No conflicts on my end.
All right. With that, I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
And Mr. Hawk?
Yes.
Donations, Mr. Lavender.
Yes, President Wilkie and members of the board, we continue to receive very generous donations from community members. The Casa Grande Automotive Club received two tool chests valued at $1,000 from Jerry Seiner dealerships. Our Casa Grande Union Volleyball team received a $500 donation from Ellis Mills Contracting. The Casa Grande Union High School Athletics received $200 from Grandy FC Incorporated. Casa Grande class of 2026 received $100 in food trucks from Food Truck Big Country and Capital Corn. And then the Casa Grande Union Baseball Club received $250 from Matthew Brandt and $300 from Roger Valdez. And then Amanda Sheeler, who was a math teacher at Vista Grande High School, received a $5,000 donation for WHWPO Give. And I recommend we accept these donations with enthusiasm.
I would agree with that, concur. Just another example of how wonderful our community is and its generosity. So thank you all for your continued support of our district and our schools and especially our students there. Any comments or questions from the board members? With that, I'll accept a motion.
I
Move to approve the donations as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
And just a side note there, Jerry Seiner dealership right there at the old Sam's Club there is open. So you might want to go by and check it out. It's a fabulous area. So a little,
Shameless plug.
well,
No.
supporting our local businesses. All right, consent agenda, Mr. Lavender, if I might, consent agenda is set aside as all these actions, A through G, can be taken in one motion unless a member of the board would like to pull one of them out for further discussion. Is there any desire to do so?
No.
If not, then Mary, I will accept a motion.
I will.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Sorry.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Okay, Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
And Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Okay. All those agenda items are approved. We move into the public comment section. Mr. Lavender.
Yes, sir. We moved the public comment period to the end of the thing. Our concern is some of the public comments were maybe getting a little political.
Mhm.
And so by moving it to the end, it allows staff to go home and not listen to political rhetoric. We only have one speaker right now, but if staff would like to leave, they're certainly welcome to leave at this time.
I love this dedication and commitment. I see no movement, so we'll move right into it. We have Mrs. Jordan, Carrie Jordan.
Good evening. So I wanted to address what happened tonight with several of our board members and the statement that they are making. Number one, school board is nonpartisan. Number two, I think the school board should reflect the code of conduct, dress code expected of our students. If our students aren't to wear hats in the classroom or in buildings, which the principals can attest to this or not, I feel like the school board or us as staff and teachers and parents should abide by the same rule. Your choice tonight dictated video be turned off. It didn't hurt you. What it hurt was those students that got recognized tonight. They were not seen fully like normal, like they should have been. I am 100% all for using our voice and our choices, having a personal choice, but there's personal time, there's professional time. Even in the business, in my profession, I have a uniform, a dress code in which I must wear. School board, I think we should wear what the students should wear. We should abide by their same attire, same conduct, same code. One of the rules or themes that our district has pushed for is career and education ready. We can't do that if ourselves, who are representing our students and our teachers and our staff, can't hold ourselves to that same rule of there's personal time, there's professional time. Keep professional time what it needs to be. Be the example. Our students are watching us. They watch all the adults, even parents. When we are on site at the school, they watch us. They follow our examples. They're watching you tonight. I'm all for having a voice and making your personal opinions known and advocating and fighting for what you believe on your personal time. When it's time to be education, it's business time. We teach that to our students. We expect them to follow it. As a teacher, one of the things I always look for are your eyes. When you wear a hat, I can't see your eyes. I don't know if you're paying attention. I don't know if you're listening. I don't know if you're following. You need that communication. Our students know it. So my thoughts on this is remember who we represent. Remember who we want to follow the example, what we want our students to follow the example of. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mary, please call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
Mr. Hunt.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie.
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington.
Yes.
Mr. Hawes.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Have a good night.